Hello and welcome to all the men and women of the West and of the East, to be fair, because also streaming over at Radio Nippon for the first time, my new Japan-centric channel. All right, this is going to be a writing chill stream. I've seen some other writers do this. I don't know how they always do it, so I'll try to figure out my own way. But let's start off first by marketing the Substack, where most of my stories get posted. It's in the description, just to let you know. And as you can see, I've written a Japanese story, sort of. It's not a... Well, I don't know if it's fantasy or not, because I've generally been writing it more as an answer of sorts, a kind of spiritual successor to Genji Monogatari. And the thing is with that is that story's a psychological thriller, horror, romance novel, the first novel in history. So I'm writing my story as a bit of an answer in French and English, writing it first in French and then translating it into English to capture the feel of translation that you might get from the Genji novel. As some people know, I write other stuff, mostly fantasy, such as My Tales of Volanta, and also, where are they? I've got my Darkspire novel. So, that's where this story at some point will be posted. And we got our first viewer over at Brothers Crin. Yippee for you! Now, as this is a writing stream, let's get to the writing. Now, I have a process by which I do things. Typically, I first set this up. Voila. Now, I'm going to work on a prologue. And now I usually take a bit of time trying to figure out the first paragraph in the book, because that always takes time, normally. And typically I already have a list of characters I'm going to work with, written down and whatnot. I don't have that here. So what I have to work with is a lot less than what I ordinarily do have. And I usually try to find names first for my characters, because names are important. And I usually decide on the character and the personality to an extent, or their role, at the same time that I find the name. The name has to have a certain meaning. So like if I come up with a personality or a character role, I then go looking for a name, and the character adjusts to the name, sort of. I usually go through behind the names, and at that point, I decide on it and whatnot. And the thing is, currently I've mostly looked at names for villains. Now, I'm also usually someone who likes to try to have a kind of model from older literature to follow to an extent. Like, for example, my Swift Shadow Murders follows Ivanhoe in a way as a kind of work model of breaking up. Let me just find it. Oh, wow, my internet is weak. Anyways, I decided that it should be a murder mystery rather than Ivanhoe. I don't copy the story exactly, just kind of some of the basic ideas. I prefer just to use a story as an inspiration, and then I go my own way. I chart my own course. So here I might look at Princess Mononoke and Hour of the Dragon, but I can't follow them exactly. And the reason being that's plagiarism. Now, Hour of the Dragon, for example, starts with the long tapers flickered, sending the black shadows wavering along the walls, and the velvet tapestries rippled. Okay, that's a simplistic enough start. Now, I might look at, say, now I typically start in the village when I'm doing a larger fantasy epic. For example, Darkspire Conspiracy and the Brotherhood of the Gemstone begin with characters talking about the main characters. In this case, I'm wanting to follow more Hour of the Dragons model. So, and as I'm also going to draw inspiration from Shintoism and probably 11th century Japan, we'll say 11th century, good era for samurai. I got to first look up let's see. I'll look up some quick Japanese history. Oh, the former 9 Years' War. All right. The former 9 Years' War, Japan. I'm looking that up. This is a war fought between the Imperial clan and the Abe clan in Mutsu province in northeast Japan from 1051 to 1062. Okay. That means I cannot use, because it's fantasy, the name Abe clan here because I don't want to, copy paste. That said, the Abe general and the governor over administration. Okay, I'm just looking at Wikipedia real quick to refresh my memory on this war, which I had to study a while back, years and years ago, about 8 years ago. Now, let's see. I would want to set it up a little earlier than the 1051. Well, I guess I could kind of set it in a similar type of era. This took place in Mutsu in the Tohoku region. Okay. So when it comes to this, I got to really dig deep here. Kiyohara clan. Okay, I wasn't aware of them. It's been a while. Okay, Dewa province was modern-day Yamagata Prefecture and Akita Prefecture. Okay. So we have the Kiyohara. Now, I love that name, but I don't know if I should use it. Because fantasy. I got to go with different names. Bear that in mind, people. So, let's see. The Abe clan is very, very old. And we also have to bear in mind we have the Amishi people, or the Ainu people, as they're also called. These people were ferocious warriors. So I'm looking to them for some measure of inspiration. And the one person who was in my chat left. And I don't blame him. This is probably boring him, as I'm not actually writing quite yet. All right. So I got my prologue. I got to start. Let's see. The long tapers flickered, sending the black shadows wavering along the walls, and the velvet tapestries rippled. They start with the ritual of reviving Zaltutum. Now, let me see. I got to also look up Izanami. Let's see. Giving birth to the god of fire, or the kami of fire. Let's see. Just looking up some details on her. The Neon Shoki. Okay. peach. Let's see. Sun's dimmed on the horizon. Let's see. Let's see. There. I've just got my first sentence. Let's try to go for a full page. Bear in mind, I normally tend to write in the morning. So let's see. Now in Howard's work, he casts it indoors inside a tomb. We're going to put the setting outside to be a total opposite from him. I like the sentence. Let's see. Okay, not trees. Let's actually find out. Let me just do one quick search. Let's see. In Tohoku. Okay, let's try Tohoku. Okay. Okay. Oh, camellia flower. So we have camellia trees. Okay. Because I'm looking for something associated with death. Let's see. Grove. Oh. Now I'm just going to quickly do one thing. Just, yeah. So, cross. Yep, now. to. Let's see. They seem to. This is a tricky one. Normally, I'm not talking my way through what I'm writing, but I'm just trying to set the mood here and entertain anyone who happens to come in, as my goal is not to bore people. Because honestly, I usually write very quietly. I'm usually listening to a lot of music or a documentary or even a TV series. These days, I've been listening to Japanese dramas while writing and pausing it every once in a while, doing a rewind a little so I can listen to it and watch it. And every few minutes, I reward myself with more writing. It's a weird process, I know. It slows me down a little. Or I listen to music or a documentary and I just write for a good few hours. But here, I'm trying to write in just 30, 40 minutes, a full page when I'm really tired from today. And it's not like I did anything all that exhausting today, so bear with me, folks. Yet now as the wind died and the suns fled, let's see. So I'll in torn. Now, let's see. Let me. Now, right now, I'm using as a kind of inspiration of sorts, Hour of the Dragon. Except I'm going with my own kind of style and I'm doing it very differently. And the themes and ideas will be very, very different, probably. Because I have to adapt Shinto Japanese ideas in there. So I got to be very careful with how I do this. If there was no wind in the chamber. Um, Let's see. Well, let's see. Now, bear in mind, I tend to take my time a lot more with setting the mood in some ways, or at least I take my time more. How do I put it? I take my time a lot more than Howard at times. On the other hand, I tend to lean more towards the Tolkienian in some ways. Although Howard himself, with Howard the Dragon, was writing something very epic that I would argue is very, very Tolkienian in its own right. 4 men stood about the ebony table. Okay. So I don't want a table, but I do want to draw spiritual inspiration from this. So there are 4 men in Howard's story. lost when moaning among the black trees. Okay. Now, let's see. Worlds cast in shadow. We have the world cast in shadow. Light falling away in the suns are just dipping, and the trees are quiet. The wind has died. All right. But we do know there's plenty of trees. So let's see. I should not have it be winter. I'm going to have it be summer. Oh. And see, Evermore ground. Oh, almost cold. I know this is very messy, but the more we want to basically build the mood into something that's rather dreadful, something how do I put it, that builds up towards a sense of dread and horror, but I want it to be very different than what you might find in the West at the same time. And I want to take my time with this. So if I move around to the almost winter cold night, to the almost winter cold night. You know what? Let's just do this. Simplify. Around to I made a really stupid mistake. To twilight. And it's almost wintry. Face. All right, actually, heat of the day. And not autumn. Winter. Now, we used winter twice. Howard can get away with it. I can't. So we need a synonym. All right. We'll say the end of the year, and not yet the end. Keep it very simple. I might come back and correct and change everything, so bear that in mind. In writing, everything is always subject to change. Let's see. Days. That was out of place. Actually, I really want to keep it simple. It's actually a little Howard room. Tense silence. All right. Okay. Now that's too much time spent on the breeze. But on the other hand, let's see, need a refreshment from it. From the heat. Chill. Slap that face it. Let's see. Let's see. So inside the chamber was tense silence. Okay. Howard ends up setting himself up with 4 men. So we naturally want to be different. And there's no one really tuning in. Probably should have given a full day's notice. Sorry. Let's see. And yeah, I tend to work somewhat haphazardly. Usually I've had a lot more time to prepare a story or prepare anything at all. And here I'm working from nothing. So bear that in mind. When next I do this sort of thing, I will make sure I have written a bit more and I have done a bit more research. Let me see. Uh, Actually, let me see. I'll just get a little impulsive here. Um, oh, that's 6 minutes. There yet. Linked. Words. All right. Let's see. No. We'll say 5. Uh, Candles. Okay. Now, let's check this out. All right. The other 3. All right. Week. Previously they had. I don't like this start of a sentence. All right. So, yeah, I'm not doing my best here. Yeah. Yeah, I know there's going to be some who are going to look at the stream and say, you're terrible at this. Whatever. I judge most of how, well, I basically judge my own work based on how I feel about it. And, to an extent, I know I did a good job depending on how my audience, my readers react to it over on Substack. And for example, my previous Japanese story is gotten a middling reaction from people. So one of my few Japanese readers, well, he's from Japan, I should clarify that fact, enjoyed it. But like I said, it's gotten about 103 views, and so far as I know. And so I typically get between 1 and 300 views on my, well, readers on my stories. Darkspire usually gets 300. It is very popular out there. I do a lot of planning. I do a lot of careful work with that one. This is the opposite of careful. So uh, yeah. Let's see, the intensity of his glare worsened. And uh, all right. Let's see. Man-made heat. Is careful fool. That'll be what our bad guy says. Now, if you have included that I'm writing bad guys here, I don't know what else to say. Now, I also usually do a lot of careful work on the history of whatever part of my world I'm working on. But here I've not had as much time to prepare. So I'm basically just shooting wildly, haphazardly, and hoping I basically hit a bullseye. And the thing is, I'm drawing a lot of inspiration from the former 9 Years' War. And in this case, let's see. So what? Let me see here. Goes on and Okay, so the Kiyohara. Okay, so we're looking at the history here. Bear in mind, I'm very tired. So, Kiyohara. Due to the harsh terrain and weather, but we're eventually new troops. Thanks to the Kiyohara clan. Now, oh wow, that's a very interesting siege. Sadato surrendered. So, Sadato. Let's try. Abe no Sadato. Okay. Let's look him up. Okay, they brought his head back to Kyoto. Let's go look at the Gosanen War. And let me see this. Let's see. Okay, so I gotta draw. Maybe I'll go with the Gosanen War instead. And we have someone now on Twitch. Hello, welcome. Currently trying to just make sure I do a bit of research rather than just continuing to stumble around in the blind for this first page. Now, currently surrounded, came near to losing his footing. Careful, fool. Now, let's go back to examining the dragon just for... you know what? A great mound. Let's see. Great green mound. Let's see. Somewhere a dog. All right. Careful, fool. You know what? Murder in his dark eyes. Let's mine these. . And let's see. Oh. The let's see. Let's see. This is really tricky. Now, let's see. There's usually a MacGuffin in these sort of stories, and we're going to need one. Okay, with him. There. So, let's see. All right, so I needed to inject there a fruit, and let me see. Let's see. Actually, oh, I'll have to put a dialogue at the end of this paragraph. So I've got, just a few paragraphs till I get to the next page because I'm only aiming to do one page. I generally try to do one page at a time, not overload myself with so many pages, unless, of course, I've got the time for it. And I don't today because I do have to go make supper. But right now, I'm trying to do a one-page thing. Now, when I'm writing my Darkspire novel from over on Substack, or working on my Scottish story, I generally do one page at a time. Now, When I wrote Brotherhood of the Gemstone, I wrote it about 10 pages a day at one point. And at another point, towards the end, 5 pages a day. And sometimes 15. That took me the whole day. But the thing is, with Darkspire, I'm doing between 1 and 3 pages a day most of the time. And the reason for that is I'm doing it in the early hours of the morning. So, for example, Darkspire, I could probably write in about, well, I wake up at between 3 and 4. From 3 to about 6, if I'm in my groove, I can write about 3 pages a day, like just in those hours. And then maybe half a page to my Baron Cub story and my Prince of Flames story. Then maybe a paragraph or two for Jex the Hero, which I should probably get back into doing. I really like that story. Not terribly successful over on Substack, but I like it. This story I'm writing for your leisure. So you could kind of see my process and see me at work. Well, a neuter version of my process, because I'm not, like I said, I rely on music and documentaries. And I don't have it on, so I'm working with a handicap. Man to his left. Let's see. Jewel. Safe. All right, so let's say all right, so I got here a bit of an exchange. Now, I've really deviated from Howard here. And I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, all right, we need some exposition. Because I'm a lore guy. I love lore in my fantasy novels, both when I'm writing and when I'm reading. So I put a jewel. Now, let's see. I've worked with a ruby. Let's see. Oh. All right. See. course, light. Actually, let's change this to glimmering. Glimmering nefariously. There. I do wonder, and maybe someone will let me know in the descriptions comment section. Not descriptions, comments. Wow, I am tired. Jeez, I'm not making any sense here. How embarrassing. Maybe someone in the comment section will soon let me know after the stream. Like, anyways, never mind. Doubtless, I'm going to get mocked quite a bit. Oh, now I remember. Do writing streams count as art streams? I just wonder about that and how people tend to think about them. Let's see. Glimmering nefariously. This system in sickly green hue. Let me see. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. No, not like that. Let's see. Collapse. The ocean had consumed. Just say that. All right. Like that candle fool. There. So I reached one page. I just want to add at least one sentence. I deleted the end and then I re-added it. It's just sometimes I work it out in my head and then yeah. So this they did it reluctantly. None of them. Previous. No, we'll say prior. If let's see. Let's close that. Close that. I'll close this. And that's it for today's show. Hopefully, I wasn't too quiet or boring. And if you enjoyed the stream, and even if you didn't, do check out, well, my other content and my Substack for more of my stories. And for those on Twitch, stay tuned for tomorrow. We'll be live with another Age of Mythology stream. We'll also be live with that tomorrow on Brothers Crin and Gamer Bros, our YouTube channel, specifically for gaming. As for Radio Nippon, do check out the new Yu Hakusho video we have up, because we did a pretty good job with that. And the article was well written, I think. Although we'll be surprising people with a new article like it pretty soon, and might turn that into a video and a discussion one as well, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But do subscribe to Radio Nippon, our Japan-centric YouTube channel, which honestly I have a lot of fun with, and I plan to really promote in the coming weeks, as I'm hoping there will be plenty of content up and ready for it soon. So take care, and until next time.